to him. We also have former Senator Ray Miller attending, Superintendent Talisa Dixon, as well as a number of community leaders, from Mama Diggs to Michael Aaron, to Layla Hawkins, to Stephen Hardwick, to Craig Little, to the list just goes on and on. The amazing T Street, who was also one of those influential mentors in my life, to school board member Christina Vera. We bring a welcome and thank you all for attending tonight's program. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker of the evening, Terri Denise Taylor. She serves as the chair of our scholarship committee, as well as a process engineer for the Ohio State University Health Plan. Terri, welcome, and thank you for all the hard work, dedication, and service that you, along with other committee members, did and contributed to get us here this evening. Terri.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce. On behalf of the committee, I've got a couple words before I read our individual bios. Again, I'm Terri Taylor, chair of the Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Scholarship. I was overwhelmingly honored and humbled that Dr. Pierce asked me about a year ago to take on the lead in managing her desired initiative to Columbus City School Future Leaders and planning those that are planning to attend the Ohio State University. While tonight's reception is to recognize scholarship recipients, I'd like to take a moment on behalf of the committee to recognize Dr. Tina Pierce and to thank you for your dedication to education and your passion improving and providing an example of what a Columbus City School student can accomplish. On behalf of my team, thank you, Dr. Pierce. And now onto our bios. The committee started out as 5 members, myself, Curtis Davis, who had to drop off shortly after we had a few meetings due to the COVID crisis. There was also Sam Sarks, who I believe is not with us this evening, but he stayed on until the end. We also had Leslie Kelly, who's the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for the Columbus City Schools. She has over 26 years of experience in education and has served as a teacher, a building administrator, and a district professional in both suburban and urban settings. Throughout her career, she has facilitated and led professional development educators at the local, regional, and national level. Leslie holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in education from Ohio Northern University and a Master's of Arts in Education Policy and Leadership from the Ohio State University. Also not in the meeting, we had Felicia Travis on our committee. Ms. Travis currently is serving as Director of the College Funding for I Know I Can, a Columbus-based college access program. She utilizes her years of progressive experience to initiate and expand a number of college affordability initiatives while teaching students that families the importance of healthy financial habits. Although her heart is loyal to the field of college access, she has found that her true passion lies in the field of financial education. Felicia attended Kent State University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in business management and a master's of liberal studies degree with specialization in education outreach. She also holds certification in nonprofit management and a certification in personal finance management. Thank you so much again, Dr. Pierce, for allowing us to serve on your committee and to help choose the recipients that are being acknowledged tonight.
And thank you so much again, Chair Taylor, for all the efforts that you, along with Leslie, Felicia, Craig, as well as Reverend Starks, put into reading all the applications that we received, and definitely putting in that hard work of selecting the recipients of tonight's scholarship. In addition to those committee members, I also like to take this opportunity to thank Larissa Kirkpatrick, as well as Lori Abshire, for all of their efforts in advertising the scholarship in advance. They served as ghostwriters that helped to spark the initial interest in the scholarship. So all of those tweets that our community saw early on, the Instagram messages, as well as the Alumni Association website, Larissa put endless hours into that. Lori as well made sure that we had good visuals and pictures to go along with that. And so from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank them as well for all that hard work that they put into making the scholarship appealing to our young people and helping to market that. Our next guest speaker holds a very near and dear place in my heart. Vanessa J. Butler is one of my very early on mentees. I had the opportunity to meet her while I was a professor at the Denison University, very shortly after graduating from the Ohio State University with my doctorate. Vanessa is a 2018 graduate of Capital University Law School. Her professional roles consist of previously serving as a policy associate for Groundwork Ohio, a statewide early education advocacy organization, a civil fellow and clerk for the Ohio State University Student Legal Services, and deputy auditor for the Board of Revisions in the Franklin County Auditor's Office. Vanessa, as I said earlier, attended Denison University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in political science. She is a native of Columbus, Ohio, with a passion for serving the community. Most recently, Vanessa was accepted into the YWCA's Leadership for Social Change 2022 cohort. We welcome Vanessa J. Butler.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pierce, and good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be with you all to celebrate not only the well-deserving students and recipients of this year's Social Justice Scholarship, but also the visionary leadership and example of that of Dr. Pierce. I am committed to being a lifelong learner of hers. The moment we met on Denison's campus, Dr. Pierce took me in as not only a student, a mentee, but also ultimately family. She fostered and further cultivated my passion for political and civic engagement, encouraged me to pursue my dream of attending law school, and empowered me to think critically around the pervasive circumstances which impact our community. Through her authentic voice and leadership, she empowers those who cross her path to pursue their life's passion and work to help make this world and our immediate community a better place for future generations. For today's scholarship recipients, find your seat at the table, whether that be through becoming an attorney, a local official, community activist, entrepreneur, a subject matter expert on equitable policies. You matter, and your presence and voice are necessary. Always remember that to whom much is given, much is required. Congratulations to you both once again.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. It is very important that individuals understand that one of the things that is very significant in my life is the relationships that I build with young people. Very early on, my family impressed upon me the importance to lift as I climb. And so it was very important that I provided an opportunity for one of many of my mentees to bring words and remarks today. As I said earlier, I've had the great opportunity opportunity and blessing to be mentored by so many people in the Columbus, Ohio region, and even nationally, that some are well known, such as who I'm about to introduce next, our former mayor, Mayor Michael Coleman, and then some are lesser known, right? For example, my grandmother, Gracie Diggs, played a very influential role in instilling within me the importance of helping the community and helping others. And so I always want to provide an opportunity for my mentees, my littles, to bring remarks, to share how not only I impact their life, but how they're taking those life lessons to be the best human beings and individuals that they can be. So Vanessa, while you were the one of many, I would like to at this moment thank each and every one of you. Again, there are far too many to name, for allowing me to be in your lives, for allowing me to plant seeds that you all have used to inspire the work that you do, to guide the decisions that you make, and know that, as you said, you always have a family and a place with me. Thank you again for being in my life. Without further ado, I would like to bring next to bring remarks and greetings, one of my mentors, former Mayor Michael B. Coleman. Before I get into his bio, I just have to share with you all, in about 2018, I think it was, I had some fellow parents at Clinton Elementary that came to me and said, Tina, you need to run for school board. And they asked once and I said no. They asked again and I said no. They asked the third time and I said, yes. So it took 3 times for them to convince me. On that third time, they said, you have to go in and you have to speak with Mayor Coleman about it, just to make sure you understand what's going to, what are some of the challenges that you may face, and again, to get that mentorship and help. Now, of course, that was not my first time meeting Mayor Coleman. It had not been the first time that he had sowed seeds into my life. But I tell you what, when we had that meeting in his office and we had the conversation about the real challenges that I would face as a school board member, about the real work that needed to be done to transform our educational system, it left such an impression upon me that I was determined in not just that first race, but also my second race to win, to stand up and fight for our students, to stand up and fight for our residents, for our teachers, for our custodial workers, for our bus drivers, to really contribute to making our school district one of the best in the nation. And so throughout that time, he has been there as an individual that I can call on, whether it is questions about things that I face on the school board, whether it is direction as to, am I moving the right way in my position at the Glenn College, or whether it's just the social question. He also brings that very much needed balance into my life to remind me, Tina, make sure that you're feeding into yourself, make sure that you're practicing self-love and care. And so it is a great honor that he is here to bring our keynote remarks. Mayor Michael Coleman's leadership in law is recognized through his role as a partner in charge of Ice Miller's government law group and listing as a government relations practice best lawyer in America. Mayor Coleman blends advocacy with strategy to create dynamic partnerships between business, government, real estate development, and urban policy, furthering our city's vibrant and thriving reputation. Mayor Coleman represented 5 of the region's top 10 regional developments in 2019 and some of the city's largest developers in 2020, totaling approximately $1 billion in real estate development value. Mayor Coleman's strategic and transformational leadership qualities are also evident by his work to aggregate the purchase of renewable energy in Columbus, the establishment of a citywide user fee to sustain arts and sports venues in the city, and setting the framework for free, fair, public transit in Columbus. And as I keep saying, he is and will always be my mayor. So please join me in welcoming our former mayor, Michael Coleman, to bring our keynote this evening.
Thank you very much, and I greatly appreciate your introduction. And I just want you to know, Dr. Tina Pierce, that you are one of the great leaders in Columbus. From the moment you walked into my office back in the day, I didn't realize it was 2018, but I do remember the day that you were exuberant, enthusiastic. And what I really liked about you then, and that I like about you now, is the fact that you are engaged in public service for the sake of providing public service, using your best judgment. And for you, it is not about politics. It is not about notoriety. It is not about moving up personally. You are focused and have always been focused on our students, and have been focused on our community. And that's a value and a characteristic that really makes good public servants, when they put themselves second and put their job first, their opportunity to impact the world, and in this case, the world, our students in the Columbus Public School District. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank you for the social justice scholarship effort, because it is always good to recognize students and give them the inspiration and the direction that if they do well, if they focus, if they work hard, they can be like you, Dr. Tina. And that's what it's all about. And so I want to say to these young people, and how many do we have on the line today, Doctor?
While there's multiple that are on the line, there are 2 recipients.
Okay, very good. And I want to congratulate you for receiving this wonderful scholarship from a visionary and someone who is committed to the future. And all the other folks that are on this line, like Vanessa and Terri, also care about you and care about your future, and so many others. So never before have I felt so optimistic about the future of our city and our community than I do today, because of the quality of the people that you have selected. The leadership of this group of recipients is going to put us in good shape into the future, because there's so much to be done. There's so many challenging issues, issues that weren't a part of my time in leadership in government, and some that carried over into this time of leadership. And I think what's needed from these young people is to feel that they have the opportunity to change the world, to feel that they can really impact on the direction of this city, have an impact on the direction on this state and this nation, and that there is no challenge that cannot be met by the talent that you possess. You possess incredible talent, and we are encouraging you to take this torch that you are being provided as a result of this scholarship and this recognition, and understand that torch lights up the world. And when you accept that torch, when you accept this scholarship, it gives you now the responsibility to be great. You now have the responsibility to be excellent. You have the responsibility to be strong for those around you, for those in your family, for those in your neighborhood, for those in your school, and then ultimately for those who you lead someday. And you have the responsibility to look out into the future and imagine what you can do to make life better for those around you. Service and public service is important. Establish that vision that you have somehow and take it and use it in a way that's going to benefit so many people that you encounter every day. So I want you to know I'm very proud of you. We're all proud of you. I see Lois Carson on the line. And Lois is a great leader too. I tell you, I've had a lot of interaction with her over the years as well. And proud of my relationship with her. She stepped up on so many things over the years. And if I could reach out and just hug her, say thank you, I would do that right now. Again, let me just say to you young people, take this opportunity and use it. Take this opportunity and lift up those around you, lift up those in your presence, lift up your family, and know that you can be excellent, you can be great, and do all the things that we're expecting out of you. This isn't a gift. This is something you've earned. And you'll have the opportunity to pass the torch that is being given to you today to the next generation someday as well. And you can help train them up as well. So thank you very much. I send you my love and my prayers, and you can always reach out to me whenever you need some private, quiet advice. That's what I do these days. I try my best to stay out of the newspapers. I try my best not to be on TV. I try my best because I've put it all on the line in the past. I left it out on the field. And it's now time for the next generation to pick it up and take it from there. And you're that next generation. But I take great pride in having private conversations with individuals that say, I just want to talk. What do you think about this? How do I do X, Y, and Z? What do you think about improving the community this way or that way? And I give some very good free advice. And some people can take it, they can. Maybe they don't. But the bottom line is, at least you have an opportunity to listen. So congratulations once again. God bless you, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Mayor Coleman. I absolutely appreciate you for bringing those remarks and for challenging our recipients today to take the torch and to move our city forward in positive ways. As you said, this is not something that's simply given to them. They have earned this recognition. Here at The Ohio State University, we take much pride in providing scholarships to students to ensure that we help to ease the financial burden that many of our students faced. And many of those scholarships and much of that work comes through our relationships with alumni. As an alum, three-time alum of The Ohio State University, I have the opportunity to give back in a variety of different ways. And so every year I have to make a very tough decision to determine which scholarship will I give money to, what foundation will I give money to? Is it political science? Is it African American studies? Is it the Dr. William E. Nelson Scholarship? And this year I got an interesting call from one of our Alumni Association staff members, Julie Henley, who said, Tina, why don't you consider elevating and expanding your engagement and activity in the Alumni Association? Well, little did I know that that would involve being the president of not just our undergraduate student government alumni society, but also stepping up to serve on the board for our soon to be established Denman Alumni Society. And as we were talking through some of the ways that I could expand my leadership role, I gave her a suggestion. And I said, hey, I'm seeing a lot of the insurgency that's going on in our communities. Our young people are really active and engaged. And I want to help support those Columbus City School students that are on our campus, but giving back to the community, engaged in the protests that are taking place downtown, engaged in our schools and being mentors. And so I gave her the idea for the scholarship and she said, yes, let's do it. And so the second person that we called was Molly Rance Calhoun. She is the CEO of our OSU Alumni Association. And when I tell you, under her leadership and direction, alumni can come in with our craziest, wildest dreams. And her team are so absolutely supportive. They understand that we need to do things differently to meet this vibrant, creative, and in many ways, they're just more intelligent than I think we were as students when we were here at OSU. But these young people have such a passion about the work that they're doing, and they're so informed about the issues that they're passionate about, that she gives the alumni the space that we need to match their creativity so we can serve as great mentors for them, so we can give back to the university. And so Molly has worked to establish a career throughout higher education, but her vision for our Alumni Association is taking us to new heights. Her career highlights include heading the university's largest ever residential construction program, the North Residential District Transformation, which was a $370 million multi-phase residential expansion. But as Molly always says, building projects are is more than just about sticks and bricks. They are about the people whose lives you touch along the way, even if you never have the chance to meet them. And so it is that type of work ethic, it's that type of vision that inspires alumni such as myself to continue to stay engaged, to give back, and of course to mentor and feed into our current OSU students, whether that be financially, whether that be through affirmations, again, under Molly's leadership. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Molly Rance Calhoun, our CEO of our OSU Alumni Association.
Thanks so much, Dr. Pierce. It's wonderful to join in recognizing the inaugural recipients of the Social Justice Scholarship. You are strengthening our commitment to our shared Ohio State ethos, which dedicates us to raising our voices for others and creating a sense of belonging and advancing equality of opportunity. And your connection with Mr. Coleman is a wonderful example of how Buckeyes support one another through enriching, mentoring relationships. Mr. Coleman has done remarkable work, including helping Columbus become a more welcoming and vibrant city. He's been a positive influence for many, and it's an honor to have him here with us this evening. And thank you for everyone who has joined us and gathering with us tonight to show your support. Tonight is a testament to Dr. Pierce's ability to bring people together for the greater good. By modeling servant leadership, she's empowering generations to create transformative change in their communities. Students from Columbus City Schools to the Ohio State University have been inspired by Dr. Pierce. She has been a remarkable advocate for fellow Buckeyes ever since she was a student herself. She was incredibly involved on campus, participating in University Honors Program, the Denman Research Forum, and the undergraduate student government. She has served as a resident advisor and was a recipient of the Excellence Award for the Moral Scholars Program. And today, Dr. Pierce continues to offer her time and her talent as an alumna. As she said, since 2019, she has served as the president of the Undergraduate Student Government Alumni Society, and she continues to be an active member of the Ohio State Alumni Club of Franklin County and the Social Work Alumni Society. She has received several honors, including the Ohio State University Association Pay It Forward Award for volunteerism. And again today, we see how Dr. Pierce embodies the power of paying forward for future generations of Buckeyes. The outstanding students receiving support are civic-minded, and this scholarship from Dr. Pierce will allow the time for them to do even more, to volunteer in our communities or offer mentoring for younger students. By investing in them, we impact more than these individuals. We influence the lives of everyone that they will engage with. This is what Woody Hayes meant when he said you could never pay back, so you should always pay forward. This is how we start the chain reaction of goodwill that passes from one person to the next. Generosity, such as we are celebrating today, also moves us towards our university's bold goal of giving students the opportunity to earn their bachelor's degree debt-free. Spearheaded by President Christina Johnson, the new Scarlet and Gray Advantage program will launch Ohio State forward in addressing college affordability through an approach that is distinctive among our peers nationally. Combining scholarships with university services and support, the program will prepare our students to be active participants in their own futures. By supporting the two bright and compassionate students we are acknowledging today, Dr. Pierce's scholarship will have ripple effects as these students go on to uphold our Buckeye values by expanding justice for all. And now, Dr. Pierce, I'll turn it back to you to tell us a little bit more about these wonderful recipients.
Thank you so much, Molly. We appreciate you coming this evening. We appreciate, again, your innovative and inspiring vision for our Alumni Association. And I know at times I may come with crazy program ideas. Thank you for always being willing to give them a try. I truly, truly appreciate you. And so now, the moment that we have been waiting for, I think we are going to queue up the spotlight. So the two recipients are shown. They have been sent packages in advance that they are going to pull out and open as we name them. And in no particular, I think we have put them in alphabetical order. So this is not a particular ranking, but our first recipient is Elisabeth Cobbs. She is a graduate of Whetstone High School. Our next recipient is Shayanna Hinkle-Moore. She is a graduate of Independence High School. And so before we go through their bios, let's spotlight them opening these packages that were delivered to them in advance. So ladies, do you have your packages? All right, let's open these packages and see what has been delivered to you all. I feel like we need music or something. We need like a drum roll that's going. Can we unmute them so we can hear them like show excitement? What we got? What's going on?
Okay, so the first thing is a t-shirt with Brutus on it, which is so cute. I love this. And it says Buckeye Volunteer on it, if you guys can see that.
Yay! Look at that. We got gear. We got to get you ready. What else is in the bag?
Oh, fun. Got a little photo frame.
Look at that. Buckeye for Life frames. Yay.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. And we have certificates. Yay. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff in that bag. We'll go to their bios now because I'm sure you all want to know more about these lovely recipients for tonight. So we'll go back to our first recipient, Elisabeth Cobbs. Again, she is a graduate from Whetstone High School. She is majoring in public management, leadership, and policy in the John Glenn College of Public Affairs. Oh, wait a second, that's the wrong one. I apologize. So Elisabeth Cobbs is actually a double major with honors in public leadership, management, and policy and sociology. She has a cumulative GPA of 3.69. She is currently in the process of becoming a poll worker for our upcoming election and working to be a Narcan certified individual in the wake of an overdose epidemic that is surging in Franklin County. She is a volunteer with her mom and sister at the Riverview International Center, which serves and supports newly arrived immigrants and refugees in our community. She plans to remain involved with Riverview International Center, and she's also looking for new opportunities to serve citizens that are re-entering society following incarceration. As she mentioned in her scholarship essay, she is passionate about criminal justice, reform, and supporting the re-entry of citizens. Again, one of the great things that really drew our committee to Elisabeth Cobbs was her passion around criminal justice reform. And one of the quotes that she gave was that no one should be exempt from love and support. And this specific population does not often get that. So we applaud, honor, and champion Elisabeth for the work that she is doing now, for the work that she will do in the future, again, to help individuals know that they are loved and to feel that love. So everyone, please join us in again celebrating this accomplishment, as Elisabeth is one of our first recipients of the Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Scholarship. Congratulations. Our next recipient then is Shayanna Hinkle-Moore. She is majoring in public management, leadership, and policy in the John Glenn College of Public Affairs, as well as city and regional planning in the Knowlton School of Architecture. She has a cumulative GPA of 3.702. She is a student leader who is highly focused on and committed to improving conditions for the people in our community. She struggles to find sources of income that work with her very busy schedule and are substantial enough to support her monthly expenses. So this scholarship will provide her with an opportunity to continue the great work that she is currently doing in our community. Now, you all might be saying, well, what is that work? Shayanna currently serves as the president of the Black Student Association at The Ohio State University, where she leads a team of 11 to create meaningful experiences for Black students here on campus. She also serves as an ambassador for the Department of Social Change, where she works alongside other service-minded students to meet the needs of Columbus City residents and Columbus community and Columbus City School students in the areas of pre-K through 12 education. So she's serving our students in pre-K through 12 education, and then she's serving our community members, helping them with issues related to criminal justice, recidivism, leadership, and development. This upcoming year, Shayanna plans to continue using her student positions at The Ohio State University to serve the student body, future students, and the greater Columbus community on a larger scale. So please join me in again recognizing, honoring, and supporting Shayanna Hinkle-Moore on earning again our Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Scholarship. Now, I don't know about you all, but I am far too impressed. We have 2 recipients that are double majors with these high GPAs that are very active and engaged in our community. So they have definitely set the bar high in this first year. We are looking forward to, again, providing this scholarship next year to future Buckeyes that are in transition to start their first year here at The Ohio State University, are Buckeyes that are currently here and working to obtain their degrees. Before we make the passionate call to ask you all this evening to support the scholarship by making a donation, I do want to tell you a little bit about the scholarship. And so when I came onto the school board in 2019, no one could imagine that we would deal with social justice protests in our community, and then that we would be dealing with this pandemic of COVID-19. And throughout my term, my first 2 years as a Columbus Board of Education member, one thing that I have been impressed by, one thing that I have been inspired by is the commitment of our students to persevere and show resilience in spite of the many things that are happening in our schools and in our communities. And so I thought, what better way than to support our students by donating my entire school board salary to establish and start this very much needed scholarship. So in essence, as a Columbus Board of Education member, we are paid $4,000. Once taxes are taken out, it comes out to about $3,800, $3,600. And so I donated my entire first year salary to establish this scholarship, as well as my second year salary to keep this scholarship going. We can grow this scholarship and impact the lives of more recipients in years to come with your support and help. As you all have come to learn, our first 2 recipients, as well as so many other Columbus City School alumni, are here on the campus of The Ohio State University, contributing to student organizations that are here, contributing to our community, again, to make positive change, giving back by mentoring their younger peers, giving back by helping adults in society, by showing up in a variety of different ways. When we look at Elisabeth and we think again about the overdose epidemic that is going on and happening in our community, knowing that you are supporting the great work of a young student that is helping individuals get through that is there, and getting the certification and training for that should warm your heart. It should empower you to know that your dollars are making a true difference in our community. When we look at the great work that Shayanna Hinkle-Moore again is doing on our campus, helping to ensure that the Black students on our campus feel not just welcomed, but have a space where they know they belong. When I was a student here at The Ohio State University, I have to be honest, when I joined a number of those organizations that Molly mentioned, I wasn't sure. I was nervous. One of my mentors, the amazing T Street, will tell you when I applied to be an RA, we had a number of conversations about how to complete the application, what were some of the things that I would be responsible for, and how I could use that opportunity to help inspire other CCS students to apply to be an RA. And so it again was through that type of mentorship that I was able to achieve some of the successes that I've been able to achieve here at The Ohio State University. But very early on here, I understood the importance of giving back. And while I know my board scholarship isn't a lot, I know that the little bit that I give makes a huge difference. It will provide an opportunity for Shayanna and Elisabeth to be able to focus on their schoolwork instead of working 2 jobs, because of many of times you're working that work study job, but then you also have that outside job. But it will provide an opportunity for them to be able to focus on their study, an opportunity to be able to focus on that university service and that community service. And this is exactly what that scholarship is. We want it to be extra. We want it to be something that is telling these students, we see you, we appreciate the work that you're doing, and we want to feed into you, into that work. And so at this time, I ask you all to take an opportunity. If you have a bar scan code app on your phone, you can take a picture of that QR code there and it will pull up our website. If you do not have that app, please go to the Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Fund scholarship to make a donation. And we will also put that link in the chat, again, for you to be able to make a contribution to the Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Scholarship. It makes a tremendous difference in not just the lives of our students, but also in our community. here on our campus. So again, we encourage you to take the opportunity to make a donation to the Dr. Tina Pierce Social Justice Scholarship Fund, either through that QR code or again, through the link that is being put in the chat box. I also, as we conclude, want to thank everyone for joining us this evening, from, again, all of our community leaders. I saw Tiffany White on, definitely President Lois Carson. Thank you for your mentorship and your support of not only myself, but all of our students from our Columbus City Schools. Judge Terri Jamison is also on. We want to thank her for her support and encourage her as she is running for the Supreme Court here in the state of Ohio. If there are any other dignitaries that I missed, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I am extremely appreciative, again, for all of those dignitaries, family and friends for joining us this evening. We would like to say to Elisabeth and Shayanna, may you carry the torch and continue to do phenomenal, transformational, impactful service in our community. We expect many great things from you in the future. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and please make that contribution. Good night.